Repeat. Repeat.
Hi, and welcome to Screen.Write.Repeat, a writer's room podcast. My name is Marvin Lanier, or M.A. Lanier, as my pen name, and I'm joined by
Sydney Cox,
Stephen Wegman,
Nick Moore,
and Les Weiler.
This is a 3-act podcast devoted to replicating an authentic writer's room experience. We select a show, a season, an episode stopping point, and we discuss. We watch it, we regroup for Act 2, where we break the very next episode, and then we go off and write that episode while adhering to the voice of the show and the showrunner. The last act is a table read of the best written episode. This is our Act 2, our writer's room episode. In this episode, we will come together to discuss the television show that we picked, how we feel about the trajectory of the overall show and the characters, and then we will break down the general beats of our episode that we will spend the next 2 weeks writing. Last time, our magical wheel of destiny chose Les's pick of High Fidelity. High Fidelity is a 2020 adaptation of the novel of the same name by Nick Hornby. It was adapted into a movie in 2000. Since this is a one-season show, we must now write the season 2 premiere, and our showrunner this week is Les. Les will be taking notes and keeping us in line with the show's general themes as we break down the next episode. With all that being said, let's get into the breaking process. Sid, what'd you think of High Fidelity?
I found it very entertaining. I did go back and watch the movie before I watched the show just to get some basis for it with the story, just because I hadn't read the book. And I think we talked about in the first episode how John Cusack's character is a whiny bitch. He's very annoying. He's very hard to like, but I don't find myself having that same problem with Zoe Kravitz's character, with Rob. Even though she's deeply flawed and has a lot of layers, I find myself being drawn to her, and maybe it's just because of, as a fellow woman, millennial style, like I can see where she's coming from with these different kind of different crises that she goes through. And it's interesting. I mean, you have a lot of possibility for where the season could go next in season 2. Do you want to follow what happened in the movie, which I'm assuming is what happened in the book, with her former lover's parent dying, and then that's what brings them together? Do we want it to be a 2-season show, or is it something that we feel could be even longer, like a 5-season show or a 3-season show? I think that's a decision we kind of need to come to together today before writing the second season's opening episode, because that'll give us an idea of what to play with and what overall the arc should be of the entire show. I always have issues with shows that just keep writing and writing and writing because they're just trying to make money, versus a show like Ted Lasso that was written and had a complete story to tell over the course of 3 seasons. So I guess we need to discuss this as do we see this as a 3-season show or a 5-season show? How far do we want to take it?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Nick, what'd you think of the show?
I actually agree in the fact that I actually didn't watch the movie. But I had a opposite problem of Sydney, actually. I don't like Rob. To just get it out of the way, as far as I don't want to come in and fix this show. I don't think this is what this show is about. Right. So I'm going to defer to Les and you guys, because I in my attempt to fix the show, I might break what's actually working about it for people. So I think Rob is too much club for me. I get the fact that she is supposed to be unlikable and selfish, and everyone yells at her for it. I don't get the cute, I don't get why the guys are into her at all. She doesn't come off as cute to me. She comes off as kind of grating and annoying. And this show has made me go do a thing I haven't done in a long time, which is basically the first episode ended and I went, ugh, hipsters. Which is a phrase I have not uttered since 2009, and I was happy for it.
Okay.
Maybe 2012. I think this show, but I do have a solid reason. I think the show needs to be 3 seasons. And here's why I think why. You need another season to get Rob to the point where I believe she can change. And then the 3rd season is her actually changing. I think where the show leaves off in its first season gives you fertile ground to make a more likable Rob in the second season that's still a the still shitty, selfish person she is, but trying to be better. And especially American audiences love an asshole that's trying to be better. Like, we love assholes that don't try to be better. So I it could just be me, and I really hope it's doesn't reveal a thing with me, because when the show switches to Simon's perspective for an episode, I immediately liked it more. And I was like, oh my God, what does it say about me that the minute the show switched to the white guy's perspective, I immediately liked it more? That doesn't bode well.
I did warn him at the end of it when he was saying that he really didn't like Rob. I was like, he's like, Chad, I watched the movie. I was like, man, I don't think you're going to like Rob more when we switch Rob to John Cusack.
But the idea is to not like Rob. Like, it's not like the show's making a mistake or whatever. Like, the idea of the show is Rob's a bad person, and she needs to learn to like take other people's feelings into account. And so she's supposed to be on some level unlikable. I guess I just disagree with how unlikable she comes off to me personally. But as far as what the show is about, I think the show is about Rob letting people into her life, not because of a thing she needs or wants, just because it's a thing the other person needs. She really needs to start thinking outside of herself. Like, I would end it where the last episode, she doesn't talk to the audience. Her talking to the audience makes me think like she thinks her life is a TV show, which gives her an excuse to be the main character in her head. I would almost end it like a Fleabag. Fleabag ends with her basically saying goodbye to the audience, and I would do that here. I'm not sure if that's what you guys like. No, that breaks the entire show. So like, definitely let me know if I'm off base here, but that's how I would do it. Rob needs to be okay with everything not being about her.
I can agree with that to a certain point. I kind of struggle with this show as well, but we'll get into my stuff a little bit more after we get Steven's opinion.
Steve.
Yeah. Oh, I'm kind of reflecting what a lot of what you just said.
I just knew I should have gone last.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Rob, um, but I felt she had a lot to work on, and it was getting frustrating as the show progressed. And I feel like, I mean, there's the whole like watching the other characters develop and like grow into themselves, and I feel like they're changing, and I'm seeing nothing from Rob, and I'm like, are we gonna get there at some point? Is that what the second season was gonna be for?
I think
And
they
I
tried to
was
set it up
just,
with the guitar, right?
yeah,
Did
yeah,
set it
that,
up, and they
I
kind of
do think
sprinkled it
that
in.
was
Like she did. I mean, even by admitting to her ex fiance what she did, which I think was part selfish, but also part like owning up to her failures. Because I mean, she could have gone her whole life and just kept that to herself.
Right.
I mean, like
And I'll,
she's relatable because everybody's a little bit selfish. She's just a little bit more of a existential crisis asshole. If that makes
I'll
sense.
I'll go in a minute, but that's kind of where I was like at this point. Rob's nice moves or growth moments are still technically couched in shittiness as well. Like there's
mm,
she's dealing it out with both hands here uh, at this point, but that's to me the 2 or 3 season like real growth timeline. Like this character's not going to be wonderful tomorrow.
Right.
Anyway, sorry.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good.
no, yeah, yeah. I guess, yeah. In the end, yeah, the scene with Charisse, there was like a glimmer of hope and of like, oh, okay, and that was nice. But yeah, I found myself thinking in like the next season, I want to see more like Charisse's journey, and I want to see, Simon's
Yes.
journey, and because I
Charisse
mean,
episode, season 2.
yeah, I was like, I'm speculating on a Charisse episode. But yeah, yeah. I mean, overall, I did like the show a lot. I liked the music. I liked a lot of the episode. you know, I guess the setups for the episodes. Though though there were some choices that bothered me from like a conceptual standpoint. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not important, but
No, we'll get into it. We'll get into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
but overall I was like, okay, I could see this working. I could see a second season, and I have like some ideas for, I don't know how I think that could happen, but
Well, it's part of like a
yeah.
writer's room thing. I thought was interesting. Like, how much do we change before we are not writing in the show's voice anymore?
Right.
You know,
Well, it's part of the
Well,
thing
or
with
is
the
it
second.
just
Oh, sorry. What I was gonna say is part of the thing with the second season is like you can course correct. You can be like, okay, this isn't working, so we can fix this. We can massage this.
Hmm.
We can make this better, and that
a lot of
is not,
shows second season's the best season.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
not deviating from the
It's
concept of the
dialing
show.
in. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I always think of that as the Eternals problem now of like watching a
I'll make a
great,
good superhero movie.
right, but like watching a great team of filmmakers come in and make like an importanter superhero movie, and then somehow lose sight of whatever makes superhero movies fun.
I mean like
Uh,
characters,
and
not just
I used
Twitter.
I used to call that the Ang Lee problem. I'm glad we have
right,
a new example now for the youngins.
and so like I feel like there's a fine line sometimes between dialing in a show, Parks and Rec getting better and better up to see like into season 3 and then like really nailing it, uh, versus fixing something that won't gain you a new audience and will lose you whatever audience there was.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think you're going to end up changing it too much. I do think it's just possible for the evolution just well, and I just think of other TV shows that do that where you start off with the anti-hero asshole, then they
Yeah.
have some moves that show some growth, and then by the end they're still a shell of who they were, but they're still a better version of who they are. Like that's just like natural human growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rob needs to go to therapy. I think if he
Well,
went
sure.
to therapy, holy shit! Like
To
you
bring
have,
it back to
yeah.
music and Les's idea, I think I would like the cover of Rob rather than the original track.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I did watch the movie. I watched the movie first, and then I watched the show, and I felt like the show was so slavish to the movie. I'm gonna be 100%. It drove me nuts. Like
That's one of the things I loved about it. I felt like it did a lot of fun, different than what Cobra Kai did, but a similar thing of playing around with source material and giving me variants on scenes that nod back to scenes and stuff.
yeah, it just for me was a little grating because it was like, oh, of course he has to say the line about the disc being on their side and being stacked up. We have to have that. It has to be said. But oh, now we have to do this whole subplot with this. But in the later half, I actually liked what they started doing because they did start breaking Rob and making her not so much a selfish asshole. It was really selfish in the first part, and I do feel like it was thorough all the way through, but towards the end she was starting to soften up a little bit, even though she did drop that on her ex, drop it on Mac about her cheating then and there instead of him already knowing that and that being the cause for the breakup. But my overall problem, or my overall like experience with it was, as soon as they did the episode with Simon, I expected them to do an episode right back to back with Charisse, and the fact that they didn't tore me up because she is the best.
Saving it for season 2.
Show. I know, that's what I keep thinking. Like the first episode of this season, it has to be like Charisse's.
But especially when Jack Black takes the stage at the end of the movie.
Well, Charisse's story, like his story, Simon's story is, I love that it reflects that his 5 heartbreaks are the same guy.
I'm just kidding. It's Ben.
I thought that was great. It was funny.
I'm just kidding. It's fucking Ben again. You know it's Ben. But it leads him to make the right decision at the end of taking a chance, but not on Ben again, taking a chance at a new, healthier relationship. And I think we haven't done the setup for Charisse yet. Charisse needs to be with that the 2 kids that are pressing records, mixing. So she needs to, her character arc is going to be from getting the confidence and respecting, like being able to create, getting in that space, and her episode will be about her finally putting down a track, I think. But we weren't there yet in season 1, so I get why they didn't do it.
Right. Well, I think her thing isn't even so much breakups or anything like that. I think it's indecision. But she's been paralyzed.
I believe Charisse is someone on someone else's list of of heartbreaks. I don't think Charisse has a list of heartbreaks.
Yeah.
100%.
I think Charisse is the dumper on most of her.
Yeah. She sees it. She sees the fire in the distance, and she's just like, it's not worth it. Bye. Before she even gets super close to anybody.
100%.
I don't think she's even had any deep, emotional, grown-up relationships.
Probably not. But from my perspective, like, I think a lot of her problem is indecision. That's what I was saying. Like, I feel like she's, I want that, but I can't go for it. I'm not going to go for it. She doesn't have a lot of confidence.
Well, she was mad at Rob for letting those kids do the thing because they were making music. And, like, why did you believe in them? Like Charisse, you're not making music. You're talking about about writing a book or writing a screenplay or something. You're not actually doing it.
Right.
Like, and I like that when she mentioned actually doing it, Rob put her money where her mouth was and got her the fucking guitar. Like, did the same thing for her she did for the kids.
Yeah.
Like,
it demonstrates that there are more layers to Rob. She can be altruistic.
I just wish that she
so
could
wrapped
do
up in her own shit that she can't see past it.
I just wish she could do it in any way that wasn't related to, like, if it's related to music, she can do it. If it doesn't involve music in some way, she can't grasp her mind around it.
I agree with that. Because, like, she treats what's-his-face so shittily. I forgot his name. Clyde.
Yes. Yeah, Clyde.
Okay. And again, I don't know if I'm going to ruin this show, but Clyde is the secret hero of the show, right?
Yeah,
Clyde.
Like, I'm on team Clyde did nothing wrong.
Yeah, he did nothing wrong. So, yeah.
No, he's actually a nice guy. Yeah. Which,
he's basic, sure, but, like,
his basicness comes.
Well, he's not even basic. He's a really good guy. I mean, he donates his time to kids to teach them exercise and shit. Right. I'm like, oh my god.
He even uses his tourist superpowers to know the shit about the wallpaper, so that she has an in for conversation with that douche.
Oh yeah.
Like I love that. Like, he owns a car in New York, lame, but it comes to the rescue.
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
I think Clyde was probably like the best character, and him and Charisse. But I really hated how she just like, I'm gonna call you. I'm never gonna call you. Oh, I hit you up. Oh, I'm never gonna hit you up. Like, just throwing at me like that drove me nuts.
Well, at the end, she wants her shot, and it's too late. Like, Clyde's like, nah, man. But she takes her L on it, and like 9%'s enough.
Right.
And I think that shows that, like, I'm going to work my way up percentage wise.
Yeah.
So I guess it brings me to my next point. Who do we think endgame here? I think we can cross Mac off the list. She cannot end up with Mac.
Absolutely not.
That's wrong.
I think they need to have a reconcile. Like, I want to see them hook up.
Like, I
in the second season, but then eventually she ends up with Clyde.
So, to the room, did Mac and Lily break up? Is the wedding still on?
No, it's still on. I'd say it's still on because they walked by that.
I would say it's still on.
They walked by the rock, so he's having doubts.
Right.
Which would lead to a reconciliation between him and Rob in the second season. But then at some point you have an actual altruistic moment where she's like, no, I fucked this up and I'm fucking it up for you and Lily. So I'm going to be the better person and let who I love go and move on and be the mature person. Would be the actual like growth moment for her.
Marvin, I'll let you structurally run it. I didn't particularly.
No, you're good. You're good.
We can jump straight in.
Jump straight in on it.
All right. So,
so actually, if you want to give your thoughts and then jump in, but we can start going.
So sorry, Cindy, to put a pin in that before I just go off on. Like, we end up breaking this all. So I watched the show when it aired. I loved the movie when it first came out. And so for me, the callbacks that they do throughout, I thought were a lot of fun. There's a couple of scenes that obviously they don't do, and both of which I would want to, sorry, Marvin, do in season 2. One of which is the funeral, and that whole thing, but I don't want it to go the same way. The other, which I love, there's a table scene in the movie where he's listing top 5 jobs, and I think 3 of them are impossible just because of physics, like Rolling Stone Reporter 1972, something like that.
Right.
And like the 5th one's like architect, and she's like, that's 8 years of schooling. He's like, it's number 5. I put it number 5. But nowhere on there is valuing what he has.
Yeah, record
Like,
store owner is not on the.
He has
on
a
the
pretty
thing.
cool fucking job.
Yeah.
And I feel like the show is a little less about that, but that is still, I feel like, a huge theme of this underlying book and story is Rob being unhappy with the things that she should be happy with, or being able to value with herself. Watching the show, I felt like I have both been Rob to date. I have dated Rob. Like I felt like Clyde at the end, trying to look away of like, oh God, please walk off. I am still attracted to you, but this is not cute anymore. Please leave. And like,
he was trying to avoid eye contact, like a predator prey situation.
Oh my God. And so like, I just felt like a lot of these characters in the show. And so I just really enjoyed it when it left off, even though it doesn't exactly cliff. It's not like it's a terrible place to leave the show or anything. You guys all watched it. But the 9% thing, the guitar growth, it felt like a show that really understood that its main character was flawed.
Yeah.
And then gave me this glimmered assurance that like, no, but they can. And like, son of a bitch, it like if a show just confirmed in the last, like, no, the magic's real and we're out. Because it like watching Rob walk off and like 9%, I can live with that, and like put the headphones on and have just given up this thing she wanted since she was 8, and like there's just a lot of stuff working there of like, I want to see where this character goes, which brings me to the first real question, like Sydney said, we've got to answer. Is this a 2-season show or a 3-season show? And my argument for why, despite what our job is here today, this has to be a 3-season show is simply because at the pace that they grew Rob across the first season, I don't know that Rob can ride off into the sunset
in a second
at the end of season 2 and not blow it up still. Not that there won't always be a risk. People are people.
Right.
But I would want to see I'm just going to spitball my loose framework. What I would think of would be that, like you said, Mac's having doubts. We have Rob and Mac flirting around, maybe doing their thing again, maybe making another try at it. And by mid-season, it's already old habits, old patterns are coming back up. And shit's already starting to come off a little bit. And the funeral happens. Only instead of like in the movie where it's the reconciliation of Rob, Lily comes to Mac's funeral because she was engaged to this guy.
Yeah.
And it's Mac's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And at the funeral is where Rob realizes that I have a ways to go to be the person that Mac would need at a funeral.
Yeah, I can see that.
I'm not funeral people.
Right.
I can crash a wedding, not a funeral.
Right. And and then the second half of the season will be Rob growing like that. My idea, because I love Clyde, is that at the end of season 2, Rob is in a place where Clyde could run into her and actually not mind talking to her, maybe even going and getting a cup of coffee. And at the end of season 3, Rob is actually in a relationship with whoever, whether it's Clyde or whether it's somebody, but capable of being in a grown-up relationship. Sure. And I think at that point, Simon probably owns the store.
Mm. Okay.
Charisse is in a band that Rob has started Top 5 Records and is producing with those kids. And everybody's moving into their next phase while keeping their identity intact in a way that they felt scared to do in their 20s.
Does she keep the store or does she move away from the store?
I think she'd always be around it, but in my and again, I'm just throwing out stuff that I thought might be fun.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of Simon taking it over.
Yeah, I could see Simon taking over that.
I do love the microcosm Simon episode where he basically moves through like a season of Rob in like a week, it feels like. And I would absolutely do the 8th episode of season 2 as Charisse's episode. I would want to do 10 episodes, the 30 minutes. That's the other thing I should have mentioned. The overall, my favorite thing this show does that I wish was a template that was used more, and I hope other writers see it. I love that this is funny. I find the show really hilarious, but it's also really a drama, and it's 30 minutes. And I feel like that gives it a punch that you just don't see. It's just this assumption that like, oh, your show's serious? I'm gonna put you down for an hour then.
Right. Yeah,
and like, I don't know. I have a blast with it. I feel like it's always out at the right moment. Like it always ducks out at the right, like leave them wanting another song.
Right. It's the Scrubs thing to me, because Scrubs can be really funny, and then all of a sudden on a dime, it's like sad and dour. Like, what the fuck?
So that's my pitch for why it would be 3 seasons. Only because I would feel like we would be rushing Rob along to try to get Rob to where I would say the series ends, which would be not there's no fixed people, but a person who's got enough of a grip on what they do to not lay it on other people all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
any counter arguments?
Sydney, I'm sorry I interrupted you earlier, but you were kind of talking about similar stuff of the funeral scene and
No. I like what you're talking about in terms of utilizing the funeral scene, because that's a pivotal point where you have incredible emotional come to Jesus moment. But I like how you're saying that, so I think we're all in agreement 3 seasons is the way to go to actually get Rob to be a better person at the end of it, realistically, and not just like, oh, now she's a good person because she did a couple of good things. Like, no, she needs to have actual growth moments and a tweaking her personality, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that only happens in incremental changes, realistically, because I'm sure there's people out there that have had something crazy happen to them that made them reevaluate their entire life, but generally speaking, it's done in incremental changes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's a conversion of Saul. Like, God's not knocking her off the horse here. I see it as a growth mode. I would see season 2, Rob growth would be at the end of season 1. Rob has done a selfless good thing, but it's not entirely selfless because she also directly feels bad for having ignored Charisse.
Right.
And so it's a little bit apology. And then in season 2, I would want Rob to learn to do something that is not for her at all. Whether that's, I would say that is, my thought would be that would be donating literally any kind of volunteer time anywhere for anything. Obviously it would be music related, but like literally just anything that isn't to get anything back. And that would be where I would have her just look up across the room and see
Clyde.
Yeah.
I have a whole moment planned for that. I would have her and Clyde have a little moment. Clyde realize she's not there for another volunteer walk by and like, hey Rob, I'm like, oh shit, you really are here.
Yeah, Clyde would think, you stalker, why are you still going after me? I told you no.
And no, it's genuinely like,
but no, she's genuinely donating her time. Like,
but I would have her doing something boring in a suitcase, whatever volunteer thing, putting stuff in boxes, with her headphones on, listening to a Stones track, and she'd take the headphones off to talk to Clyde for a second, and we'd hear the music drop to background to headphone music off low. We'd hear the song end as they're wrapping up and he walks off. She'd put the headphones back on at the silence between tracks, and the choir for Can't Always Get What You Want would start.
Perfect.
For the ending,
all right, so we figured out,
and that would be the end of season 2, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I buy that.
Yeah.
And so I would start season 2 with a cover of that song, because one of the in terms of like music discussions and things for them to be talking about, I thought it would be cool to have a running thread of cover songs that have overtaken the original.
Yeah.
So like Nothing Compares to You, Prince wrote that. One of Us by Joan Osborne, same. Blinded by the Light, that's a Springsteen song. Like there's people who've depending on what decade you were born in, depends on the answer or changes your answer to who sings Hallelujah.
Gotcha.
Because it's either Leonard Cohen.
You mean the Shrek song?
Or it's Jeff Buckley. Or it's Rufus Wainwright. Or, just depends on whether you heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just kind of thought that might be a fun, nerdy thread.
You mean that song that comes on in the middle of that children's movie that feels a little bit too much club?
Right. Every Snyderverse movie. Sorry, you were about to say, Sydney.
No. I think that's a great way to keep it true to the original core themes of the story while still exploring more. And so, I mean, you could have this exploration of covering yourself, like using cover songs, but you can kind of give it a deeper meaning or a double meaning I had a deep thought here and I lost it.
There's something in there about
something in there about
authenticity.
Something along those lines.
Authenticity would be my pitch.
Yeah.
Because for me, it would work because I hate the hipsterishness of Rob. And I know she would always go, the original track is, the cover's just whatever. And I would definitely prefer a Rob that would go, no, I don't care what Nine Inch Nails did. Johnny Cash owns the Hurt song.
Yeah. But can a cover be more honest than the original?
Can a cover be more authentic than the original? While Rob is so concerned about being authentic, she doesn't want to change who she is. Because she thinks authenticity is better than honesty. Would be my critique.
A good place to explore it, and honestly, you could sprinkle that in with some music that Charisse does with her little dynamic duo.
Well, absolutely,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, you can play around with all of this for the entire second season, and then
especially
the third season comes around, and
we end with Charisse covering that Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were about to say.
No. And the third season just ends with more evolution of. I just had it and I lost it. I'll come back.
Yeah, I would think in season 3. So if season 2 ends with her and Clyde having a moment, I would have season 3 be her trying to learn to date Clyde and not blow it up, while also trying to not blind herself, rolling her eyes at sweater vests and stuff, fleece vests or whatever.
Yeah.
What do we think about the singer? I've forgotten his name too. Sorry, I watched
Liam.
Liam.
Yeah.
Liam Shawcross.
Oh, we'll never see Liam again.
We'll never see Liam again, I don't think.
He's not coming back unless you just wanted to sprinkle it in season 3 after she's had monumental growth, just to have because at some point he's going on his tour. He's a child, so he's going to do some growing up just through the act of touring and visiting different countries.
Honestly, that might be a great cannonball in the middle of season 3, just as things are going great with Clyde, and she's not going to freak out or blow it up or hey, Liam, shit.
That would be.
My pitch
is a midpoint twist for season 3.
My pitch against that would be, I would put Rob in a point where in the first season, she's low enough and on her self-esteem that she will have sex with anybody because she got scared of Mac proposing to her.
Mm-hmm.
And it didn't matter. It was just a hot guy in a bar, because she didn't, for a moment of relief for her, she either didn't consider Mac's feelings in it at all or weighed them and decided, fuck you, I need the thing that will make me feel better for this moment.
There's a lot to be said for being scared of something and making someone else mad enough to get you out of it for you.
I would have it be that it's an emotional affair more in season 2. Things are going to go well for Clyde, or season 3, things are going to go well with Clyde, and then Mac shows back up. She's at the point where she can resist a physical interaction. That's basic. That's just basically being no, a meaningless fling. I'm above that. But Mac coming back would really fuck her up in an emotional way.
Do you start complaining to Mac about Clyde?
Mm-hmm.
Making fun of him.
But then again, I would pitch the show that it ends with her going on a first date with Clyde. I wouldn't have her date Clyde in the show at all.
So in the third season, in the series they have a real shot at a real relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They might actually be able to go on a date like adults.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I like that.
I would end that first date and like I would end the second season with they have a chance, and like, okay, not 9%. Well, what are my shots? What's my shot now? You're in the double digits. And I'd name that episode Double Digits. And then the next season would be about her working her way up and interacting more with Clyde. And they're like friends. You can get why they're into each other. And then they finally go out on a first date in the third one. And hey, like I would like ask the same question again, and it'd be like 100% or 99%.
Oh man,
like
I would be tempted in that case to end the series finale at the end of the third season with Clyde sitting in the bar and her going to the bathroom and go to credits, because you know she's coming back.
She's gonna come back. She's gonna come back. Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. That's a good way to tie it up, especially exploring their relationship and not ending on such a cookie cutter. Oh, look, they got together. Maybe they're going to get engaged. It's like, no. Like they found each other.
Some cynic on Reddit would be like, she bails.
Sure. No, exactly. But I mean, that's a more hopeful, because it leaves it more open-ended, with the possibility instead of force feeding you, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because she didn't meet him at the right point in her life. She's not emotionally ready for a mature relationship.
No,
and it's illustrated by season 1.
And it sounds like from the couple of times that he goes off on her outside the Allied, when her brother flips out, when they're standing out there and she's like, I should tell you something. And he's like, yeah, no, I've pieced that together. Jesus. One of the things he says to her of like, I don't want to be your fake boyfriend who you like the fake most. He says something along the lines of, I've worked really hard to get this out of my life.
Chaos out of my life.
And it makes me think that Clyde's got a type, and that type is messy as fuck. And that he both when he's looking away from her and is like, I don't think that has anything to do with me, Rob. Like, that's great. But he can't look, because
he can't look directly at her,
even though like, I don't think that would quite work on me. I could see the chemistry working on him when she's like, no, but like if a doctor came up to you and said, that a person,
I don't think she has a chance.
Like you wouldn't assume they're dead, right? And like you can see him like laugh in spite of himself. And it definitely left me with that feeling that like that 9% isn't just I'm saying any number that comes in my head to get you off my porch. I think he really, she's got a 9% shot. It's not 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there's room.
So here's a thought. How do you guys feel about utilizing her newborn niece in her growth?
I hate kids so much.
Yeah.
But I think that's
experience, man, will change your fucking life. Like, you're still the same person, but it does give you a better perspective. It centers you, and like, damn, life is more important than just my own bullshit.
The authenticity cover thing can start entirely from her coming over to see her niece at her brother and sister-in-law's place, and her brother's playing her niece.
It's the only thing she falls asleep to.
Well, no, like her brother's playing the niece's first records. Like this is going to be the first time she's heard this. And Rob loses it of like, I'm sorry, did you say that the first time that she's going to hear, doesn't have to be Hallelujah. That's pretty
sure
mainstream. But like, you're telling me the first time she's going to hear Hallelujah is Rufus Wainwright? No. Yeah. She has to hear the Cohen version first. And then
the ownership of music, she can't let go. Yeah.
And I would have her let go of that by thinking about it from a new person's
honestly, that's not a bad thing to put in, not a bad scene to put in the season 1 of season or episode 1 of season 2.
That said, I don't have kids. And I'm also an only child, so I don't have nieces and nephews.
All right. Well, I can as somebody who's seen a baby, I can, or interacted with a baby on a regular basis, I can.
I met a baby once 5 years ago.
Well, man, I deeply felt with a guy, like they basically hold a funeral for him because he's having a kid. Like, we'll see you in 5 years, bud.
Yeah,
because you're basically dead to everyone.
Anymore. Yeah.
I think that that would be a good way, and then we could end the season on a kid in the record shop wants a record, and Rob lets it go, as far as it's the same record the kid, like the niece, was listening to, and she just lets it go.
Yeah.
Like, you can listen to that one first.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a small incremental but definitive show the audience growth moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be too small for the end, but maybe like
a midpoint,
Mm-hmm.
like a season midpoint moment.
Yeah,
penultimate episode, maybe
even too small for then. Because if we're getting into the point where she's almost ready for a real relationship with Clyde, you know.
Yeah, I would have that be one midpoint. Of the, like, those can be the kind of tiny growth moments we see piling up in the store, but aren't necessarily in her life yet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have her be oh man, this is nerdy as fuck. There's a band called Ockerville River that I love, and their lead singer Will Sheff used to work at the video store down from me in college, and there was a sign up at the counter of Vulcan Video that said, "As Will Sheff becomes a better person, Ockerville's a better band." It's the nerdiest fucking thing I think I've ever seen in a college video store, but I feel like as Rob becomes like a chiller music snob, or I don't know, I'm big ever since COVID on the theme of like letting go of guilty pleasures and just liking what you fucking like.
Yeah.
But like as you know, as Rob becomes a better boss, Rob becomes a better person, kind of not just boss but runner of a music store.
Yeah, instead of telling people actively, no, you can't buy that record, you have to buy this,
even though
I
prominently displayed in the store.
Yeah.
Right, which might lead to Rob like volunteering with some kids about, you know, music. I don't know what's up in New York
or something.
Well, she DJs, so I mean, she could teach kids how to mix,
right?
And to appreciate records.
I would pitch a thing that's not music related, because Rob teaching kids how to mix feels like, I guess it should be music. No,
I don't think her first move would be not music.
I would think she tries a couple different give back things and settles on one that Clyde needs to show up to, the one she picks at the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Clyde's not a big music guy, so he's not going to show up to a music. He'll show up to a soup kitchen or something. Like,
well, what's to say that she only gives back in one way? Maybe her descent into altruism is strictly with a music slant to it, and then it becomes, every Sunday I come out to the soup kitchen, and then she runs into Clyde there.
Right. I think I would have it be the false victory, Dark Knight kind of like the mid-season moment where Rob does something altruistic, she volunteers, but she still volunteers to something that she likes. That, you know,
what's the opposite of death by 1,000 cuts?
Say what?
What's the opposite of death by 1,000 cuts?
Just being beheaded.
No, like life by 1,000 band-aids.
Yeah, right. Like, but I would have Rob, like you see it, like the end of Scrooge. You know, like if you get that feeling, you're gonna want it. You're gonna want it every day. And like Rob, I like the idea of Rob not running into Clyde until she's moved on to like a, I don't know, tier 2 charity. Like not the easiest possible charity, which would I'd definitely be where Rob would start. And moving to the second, like moving to something that Clyde might be at.
So ep 1, by the end of it, she thinks I'll go and donate time, but she picks DJing or music, something music related, because she thinks it's so selfish, because I'm gonna teach the next generation to appreciate music right.
100%.
Not that there's and then by the end of it, there's no right way to appreciate music. You just do.
Right. Like, honestly, I'd have her spin out from the brother not teaching his daughter right and be like, look, I don't have kids, but I'm definitely going to.
I mean, that's a jumping off point. Like she, in the second season, and the first episode of the second season, she goes to meet her niece. Well, she's already met her, right? I can't remember if she met her. Yeah, she already met her in the.
She already met the niece, yeah.
But
she went to the.
Yeah, but she goes to spend time with them now that they're more settled. You have this music appreciation, how to teach your kid how to like music moment. She's a snob. And then she's like, well, okay, fine. If I can't teach her, then I'm going to teach someone else. And then she tries to come up with something to quote unquote give back, but it's still out of that selfish spot. But eventually it transcends that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah.
Les, are you taking notes at all, by the way?
A little bit,
Okay.
but yeah, that I've been thinking about that.
Okay. And Steven, you've been quiet. You got anything?
I've been kind of reflecting on what could happen in season 2 as far as the Liam character. I know he maybe he doesn't seem like too important, but I feel in the authenticity versus honesty, if as part of his journey, like going on tour, he changes and kind of becomes who Rob realizes she has been.
Oh, like he becomes an asshole in season 2,
Oh,
and then they
you want to
maybe run
reflect
into each
her.
other season 3.
Like the sweet kid that just absolute baby.
Yeah, or maybe like maybe
like
she
that
does.
sweet kid goes away and comes back like a fucking rock star asshole.
Yeah, maybe like he doesn't go completely bad, but maybe he has like friends he's like gathered on his, on his tour that are kind of like influencing him in a bad way.
Bieber's out a little bit, and yeah,
Man, you could have that play that as a way that Rob feels bad. She feels like she's corrupted somebody else and made them worse, but also she knows definitively she's better than she used to be because that guy's her now.
I like that. That's a good idea.
right. It's the you. Rob only realizes her growth because a mirror shows back up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a shit. There's old me. Oh
Yeah.
wow,
I
am different.
I would have her be sad about I'm such an asshole. I ruined somebody, and then Simon or Charisse point out to her, sure, whatever. Maybe you were responsible for that. Maybe he was always a dick and just needed was going to reveal it. But you recognize him being worse, and he's you now. So you recognize that the old you was like that's growth moment. Like you're good.
Okay.
Because she takes the wrong lesson away from Simon when she goes through the 5 heartbreaks. Like Simon's like, dude, we never broke up.
Yeah,
like our relationship didn't change. And Rob takes that as a good thing, like just the wrong lesson from that.
Right.
Like, and one of these times, like, man, Rob needs to take the fucking right lesson away from one of these.
Right.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. So we use Babyface as a dark mirror.
This is the end of Act 2, Part 1. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back next week with the conclusion of our breaking session. You have been listening to Screen.Write.Repeat, a Writer's Room podcast. Our music is produced by Smoky Eye Beats. You can find their work on freesound.org. Sound effects generously provided by Lisson. You can also find their work on freesound.org. Please check the show notes for our full attribution list. We're actively looking for more writers to join our podcast. If interested, please send a 10 to 15 page writing sample to screenwriterepeat@gmail.com. All shows represented on the podcast are written as spec, and none of the writers own or claim to own any rights to the respective shows. Screen.Write.Repeat does not hold copyright on any other writers' produced scripts. For more information, please email screenwriterepeat@gmail.com. Thank you for listening, and we'll write you later.